what you have in the Middle East and, the Arab people in general are very spiritual people, okay? It's very hard to find a secular Arab or an atheist Arab. As a people, they're very spiritual, which is a beautiful thing. And it's actually interesting because of the people in Israel who receive the Lord supernaturally, it's usually an Arab. Like, I had a dream, I had a vision, I saw a miracle, like that kind of stuff. It's like an incredible thing. But a Christian Arab literally means nothing in terms of whether that person is a born-again believer. In the terminology of the Middle East, and Christians would really do well to understand this, when you say Christian Arab, you're basically saying they're not a Muslim Arab. Born into a non-Muslim family, which means you're born into a Christian family. When they say Christian, they mean, Orthodox or Catholic, not relationship with God, don't read the Bible, we have some friends that grew up Christian Arabs. Didn't even know Jesus was Jewish, for one. When they had a born-again experience, to the other Christian Arabs, they had left their religion. So the Christian Arabs essentially rejected them as being a part of them and were very hostile to them. So the born-again Arab believers is a huge minority, a very persecuted minority in this country. And essentially that minority receives less voice, even the Messianic Jews, because there's so many Christian Arabs and people just think, oh, you're a Christian Arab, they're our brethren, we need to side with them. Very much not so. And they tend to, Christian Arabs, in order to kind of like avoid the persecution that they receive from their Muslim brothers, tend to lean towards the anti-Israel kind of agenda, so they can almost feel like they have something in common.
Now, that doesn't mean that Christian Arabs can't also have a relationship with the Lord if they're Catholic or Greek Orthodox or some other background like that. But we're just saying from our experience, the vast majority, after talking with them, they wouldn't consider themselves deeply religious or born again. So therefore, when there is some kind of conflict, they're more drawn towards almost taking a stance against Israel, not necessarily because they're more pro-Muslim, but they're just more anti-Israel.
Think of them as nominal.
And being pro-Arab. So they see themselves as, we can identify as we're Arabs together against this ruler or dictator or whatever they.
The IDF has Muslim Arabs fighting in positions of significance, not just foot soldiers. And because there are Muslims who are Arabs in this country who love being a part of Israel, they understand that the freedoms that they have here, the opportunities they have here in Israel as Muslim Arab is way more than any other Middle Eastern country that they're going to have. So they volunteer. If you're an Arab in Israel, you don't have to serve in the military. If you want to, you can. And a lot of them volunteer, and they have no problem going and fighting in Gaza and taking out what they view as terrorists who are essentially holding Arabs hostage in Gaza.